Hey, what's good? What's good? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time, remember to hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a thumbs up to support me as I do. And indeed, joining this particular family. Today, I just want to talk about something profound. I was told by my mentor a few days ago. He said, friendships are to be nurtured. In other way, friendships are meant to be, groomed, or they need to grow to a certain level where someone can trust you or someone can come to your rescue in any particular instance or in any particular case that ones tend to face along the way of life. Do you have any friends? How do you just grow the friendships that you have in your life? So comment down below so that we get to interact. I also learn from you how you just grow your friendships that you've had so far and how have they helped you, So everything, comment down below so that we can interact from there. So today I want to share about that, how I've had an experience with these friends that have come through in my life and helped me in one way or the other. It may not be everything, but somehow someone recommended a job to me, and that is a friend. Somehow rescued me when I traveled somewhere very far for the first time. I didn't have any relatives from there, and I bumped into this colleague at a bus station, and it was like, voila, my guy, let's stay together. I'll accommodate you. And I was sorted in terms of issues of accommodation, So that's what I'm talking about. How do you just, nurture such kind of friendships to an extent that they are able to sacrifice their resources, their time, and their whatever just to make sure that you are in a good position, So a lot goes through into it. We meet strangers in our lives. We go to events. For example, you go to a wedding, you sit next to an individual for the first time you've never met, and you start a conversation. The conversation eventually grows to friendships, So how do you just keep that thing going for you to make sure that, that particular colleague stays in your life to be a valuable person, I'll give you an example. Recently, I was at an event. The recent event I was at, I met this friend of mine. We were busy. I just arrived at an event waiting for the guest of honor to come through. Then I had this conversation with a friend of mine by the name of Fortune. We began to talk. We had different conversations about different topics. As we were waiting, eventually we got each other's numbers. This guy, up to now, he's been on me. We've been contacting each other. We've been checking up on each other. Recently, I was in another town, Kitwe. I was stuck in terms of movements, and then this guy was available to assist with his vehicle. He was like, no, I'll be able to help you to move whatever you're moving from one place to the other. These are kinds of friendships I'm talking about. We didn't buy fuel for him. He just offered his vehicle, his fuel, and said, let's go and begin to do whatever we're doing at that particular time. So these are people that we meet along the way that tend to help us when we are stuck. Count your relatives out, because mostly it's not your relatives that come to your rescue. In most cases, in the things that we find ourselves into, I also share another experience. My second job I had, it was recommended by a friend of mine. This guy, we were together at college, we were able to interact. Eventually, our friendships were strong. He called me to say, my guy, there's an opening here. This is what you need to do. Bring your papers and do one or two things. And then specifically, when you bring the papers, bring them to me. I did that. The following day, I got the job without interviews, I never went for interviews. I just submitted my papers through the guy. So these are friendships that come to our lives, and these are people that we need to nurture, So most people don't pay attention to strangers, I always pay attention to people I sit next to, especially in buses, or in any public event, or at any meeting. I would definitely say hi, what's your name, if possible, I tend to get their contact. So that is very, very important, because friends, they actually help us. So how do you keep those friends? Number one, it's important to always check on them. Check on them and make sure that you get involved in their lives. Sometimes at first it may not be as strong as you want it, but as you go, the more you check on them, the more the bond begins to grow, because you have one or two things in common which you would love to share. Number two is also to make sure that you can keep on calling them, send them an email, send them a WhatsApp. Nowadays we've got WhatsApp. Send them messages, ordinary messages, to make sure that they feel, loved, they feel cared for, So these are people that are very, very important to us. I also share with you how I got stuck when I was preparing for my wedding. And then I think a few hours before the wedding, that was a Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken. I was called by the owner of the venue to say, my friend, there's this one more transaction which wasn't paid. I thought other people have cleared the bill on my behalf, but it wasn't the case. So I was called, you have about 2,500 still pending. So if you don't clear this balance today, that was a day before, we will not open the gates for you come the event day. And I was like, what? And it was, I think, very dark. It was already dark. It was around 19. I looked around nowhere, or no one could assist me, until I thought of a friend of mine I met some time back. And this guy, he was not even in my committee. He was there. He came through for my rescue. I explained to him. In no time, the guy sent the money to me, and I traveled to the event venue and I cleared the bill. So these are people that come to our rescue. The people that we don't think of, In fact, the respect that you give these friends, some things you don't even want to involve them. But these are the people that come to help us. Your church people cannot help you. Your relatives, your close relatives can't even help you. But the friends we meet in the first place as strangers, they do usually do the needful in our lives. One time I went to Siavonga. That was some years back. I was sent there for a workshop by my workplace. It was my first time being in Siavonga, guys, and it was very, very strange for me, because one, I didn't know where I was going. I was just told we have reached the last station. How to start, where to start from in terms of looking for accommodation, where the venue for the workshop would be. I never knew all that. So I just dropped from the bus. I looked at the back. The person who I saw was someone that we were together years back at a college. And this guy were very good friends, but eventually we lost contact. Guess what happened? This guy had to accommodate me for a period of 3 days. So I never paid accommodation. Food I never used to buy, because it was all available at his place. So these are friends that usually come to our rescue. You go to a place where there are no relatives at all. Eventually your friends will accommodate you. Just the simplest way is Lusaka. The first time I went to Lusaka, it wasn't because I've got relatives. I didn't have relatives at that time. But the friends of mine I have in Lusaka, came to my rescue, accommodated me. They made me my stay in Lusaka very easy and very simple. So all these things is because of the friends. So there are certain things you can't achieve because friends needs to be there. If you do not have these friends, then you can't achieve. So you need to make sure that, you have got friends and these friends are cared for. You need to keep in touch with them. You need to make sure that, you keep on checking on them, as it were. So share down below your instances or your experiences you've had with the friends that are in your circle or the friends that are in your life. What can you say about nurturing friendships? How important is it? So comment down below in the comment section so that we get to learn together and interact. Yes, thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting me. Remember to hit the subscription button and also like and share where you can. See you soon. Bye-bye. Take care.